to do though, right?
What?
We have to go put it over there so we jump off the balcony.
Yeah. Is that a good idea? What does the back do? Isn't it gonna like knock the wind out of you? Right?
I mean, if you don't roll into it properly, yeah.
I can't hang on any longer, dude.
Clint, hang on, man. Hang on.
Hang on.
Oh, dude. Are you alright, man? Oh.
Blast door open. Blast pad acquired.
What is this?
This is a crash pad. I've been wanting one of these my entire life.
What's a crash pad?
Crash pad is what you can jump onto from high distances and not hurt yourself.
Whoa.
Yeah. They're kind of hard to find.
They're what?
It doesn't feel all that soft. They're hard to find because they're a very specialty piece of hardware. Like gymnastics or rock climbing.
Is this what the big Hollywood stunt guys use?
This is what the big Hollywood stunt guys use. In fact, we bought it from big Hollywood stunt guys. All right.
What the heck? Where are we gonna fit this, man?
I don't know.
Be busy.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Is that what I think it is?
Nick, I'm gonna bounce, man. You guys don't need me for this, do you?
You want to do one hop? One hop and we open in 5 seconds.
I'll do an inaugural hop.
Bump, bust a quick stunt, dude.
Yeah, I'll do an
Can you bust
inaugural
a
hop.
stunt?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Where's Ren?
Brand new.
Ren!
Big boy.
What? This? Oh,
Well, yeah, it's a tri-inch trifold if you need it flat and big.
what the heck?
You're on the wrong side.
I knew that. This is the floor side?
You want to fall on it.
No. This is the floor side.
He goes right.
No, this is every time I jump on a crash pad, it's been mesh side up.
Yes.
Really?
What?
Yes.
Yeah, this is to protect it from the dirt. This is no protection from the dirt.
Yeah, you don't want rocks in here.
Yeah, you don't want rocks in there. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
If anything, the rocks are gonna get trapped in there or something.
Oh shit! Yeah, we want this side.
A little supposed to break it in.
Inside of the
No, the whole thing.
Wait, Nico.
Yeah.
You said how do you break it in?
Yeah, how do you break it in?
Let me show you.
Let's see your best. Let's see your best.
All right, everybody, their best stunt jumps here.
It hasn't been broken yet.
Wow.
A little bit, a
That was
couple
like
hundred
right on
times.
your face.
I gotta feel it out.
Nico, be careful.
Oh, it's stiff.
Remember what Brett taught you.
Remember what Brett taught me?
Don't use those hands.
Don't use hands.
Don't use hands.
Don't use your hands. Fall on your neck. Who's into that? Woo! Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yo, did someone say header?
Jeez, I didn't even know that was about to happen.
Yo, I can do that too.
Ooh.
Hey, I could do that. Also, again, one more.
Whoa. I want to keep it elevated.
You do a backflip?
You're not gonna backflip.
Whoa! Damn, I didn't know you had that in you, Wes.
He's off his Jackie Chan.
Matching it.
Yeah, let's clothesline you. Wait, Clint, let me clothesline you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I've never done that before.
I'll just make it so you don't kick me.
I don't know.
But you don't have to run, just stay in place.
I have to jump.
Okay, ready?
You have to close on me up
You
here.
have to run into a double backflip.
Last time I tried doing this and tried jumping over a kick, I landed on my head.
That's a great way to set this up.
I don't think I'm gonna do this. Do you want me to do a backflip or do you want me to just?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what I'm hitting.
It's just the backflip.
It's just a backflip, like do something else. The idea is that we can do like diving.
wow. These are like Max Payne does now?
We're breaking it in, man. Breaking it in.
Wait, what? What? Where did this come from?
Clip's going. I got it.
I went to the bathroom for like 1 minute. And I come back and we got, what is this?
This for
What
you.
is it?
For me?
This is for you.
What'd I do?
Ready?
Yep. Alright, I got one.
Is it like actually?
No, it's not soft at all.
It's not like fully broken in yet. It's gonna keep moving with it.
Nice.
Do a little hop up. Look at that.
Who can pull the coolest move going down?
Try to game.
Matrix moves.
Don't do trick shots.
we put this under the railing?
Oh, that just hurt.
Ren, the question is, man, what does it taste like?
I just can't taste right now. My brain
That
molecules.
new crash mat kind of smell to it.
Did it actually hurt?
This is supposed to be safe, Nico.
It is safe.
If you practice
Ren doesn't have brain damage. He's just always like that.
It's fine.
That's how he contemplates.
What
Was it
happened?
whiplash or was it migraine?
It's just, my head. I have a huge headache now. Like instantaneous bad headache.
Dang!
Ren doesn't have a crash pad inside of his skull, so his brain's still hitting his skull.
You know what we have to do though, right?
What?
We have to go put it over
off,
there so we
correct.
jump off the
Jump
balcony.
off. Yeah. Is that a good idea? Is this?
That's probably way too high. We definitely need to break it in.
Don't do it, Ren. Don't do it, Ren. You have too much to live.
Don't do it, Ren!
While we wait for Ren, Wes has something to show you guys.
Do I?
Yeah!
I was just gonna do a side.
Dude, that's like how you execute someone. Like,
Ren,
my friend, come here.
from falling.
I'm very sorry, but I have to kill you.
Like 2 feet, there's no way.
Holy shit, Ren, yo, you be careful.
Ren,
This is quite a bit higher when you're up here.
Ren, there's so much nonsense around. This is a
Ren, you're just following your cat instincts. Come down. This is not safe.
Okay, okay.
I think we can do that one though.
Nice.
I think we can do that, led.
Got it!
2, 1.
Max Payne! Oh, sick!
Yo,
That
wait,
really
wait.
did hurt my head. Oh my god.
Yo, dude.
Careful, Ren. Tripping on the crash pad, though.
I like how we're doing this around the most dangerous things we could be doing this around. Like there's a guillotine here. There's
E-bikes, a computer.
expensive computer gear.
So much going
That
on.
was like Boston Dynamics.
It's actually pretty springy.
Yeah.
Here he goes. Been setting up for some.
Whoa.
Just goes limp.
See what I still got?
Nick, how did that feel?
Great, dude. Better than it feels when you're on concrete.
Oh yeah, I bet.
What's up, Sam?
So today we're with Chris, who works at Leica, and he has brought a very special piece of technology that I've just been oogling over for many, many years here. As you know, we like to recreate like digital environments in many ways. Sometimes we'll take like an HDR scan of an environment to project lighting and materials and reflections onto digital characters. Other times, like in anime self-driving cars, we'll like photo scan an entire environment with like a drone and stitch all the photos together and map it out to create a virtual environment. But Chris here has brought a special tool that can kind of do all that in one.
What is this thing?
So this is the Leica BLK 360. It's a 3D scanner using LiDAR. It's also got HDR imagery capabilities. Typically used more in the construction space and capturing 3D scenes, but to a couple millimeter accuracy. But now we're starting to get into getting some traction in the visual effects industry, and that's why we kind of teamed up with you guys to try and check out some of those workflows. Yeah.
So our goal for today is to photo scan our studio and the loading dock and basically get a 3D model and a digital recreation of our entire workspace for further use. Previously, when we film a video, like Boston Dynamics, for example, when we have to render out our 3D models of characters, we'll use something like an Insta360 camera here, because basically we can take multiple photos of an environment and create an HDR image. And that HDR image allows us to relight the environment and basically tell our 3D models where the light sources are, and it also adds realistic reflections for that real world environment. So the whole Boston Dynamics videos, you can watch this. Every single shot of the robot there is using an HDR map that we took during that shot on set. And that's what helps those robots just blend in so well with the environment. But what's the big difference though between using this and that? Because they're both 360, we'll both get like 360 images from it.
Sure.
But what is the main difference with this and that?
I mean, the big difference is they're actually using LiDAR. So we're actually using a laser to collect measured points to create a 3D model, actually, a 3D point cloud.
How does LiDAR work?
So LiDAR is using a laser from the inside, as you can see here. The laser's on the inside and it hits this mirror, this 45-degree angle mirror. Then that mirror spins, and it shoots out at laser point, and using time of flight technology, it's bouncing back and takes a measured data point, and so the data itself is actually scaled. But because of that, as this rotates, then this whole thing spins. You've got a single laser beam kind of going like this, and then it rotates 180 degrees. But then you're collecting, full 360 because you're capturing that slice all at once.
Gotcha. So that makes it so it can reconstruct the space in 3 dimensions instead of just 2.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. Is there a camera on this as well then somewhere?
So yeah, there actually is. There's 3 cameras right here. So as it goes around, it's first stage, it goes around, each one takes a snapshot. If you got the HDR turned on, it's 3 stage, so each one will fire off at 3 different lighting settings, and then as that goes around, it does 10 stops, so you essentially end up with 30 photos that are stitched together into one total of 150 megapixel image.
How big of a space can this thing scan? Could it do the whole, could it get all the way back there?
Yeah, actually, so from a single location, when it shoots out, it's got a maximum range of 60 meters, so about 200 feet. So that's in full 360. Essentially, the only kind of blind spot is pretty much the footprint of the actual tripod right here. But just because that's just from one location, but as you do multiple setups, you go along, and as long as you have it set up so that there's overlapping data, you can register those together. So you could do entire building, and go from room to room. Doesn't matter. There's really no limit on that.
Yeah. So today we're gonna go space to space here and scan our studio, and then next time we have to film anything here, or maybe even use this 3D model we've created, we have it right here on hand. Do you want to actually go to the loading dock first and start there? Sure. So, because I think that we can get some really good explanation and context of the just really what makes this special versus our current process.
Sure.
We must jump from higher things.
The ground is not high enough.
Wait, hold.
Ren, we gotta work our way up to it.
Ren's like ready for it.
We gotta work our way up to it.
Push to the cliff. Jump.
Ren, we gotta work our way up to it, god dang it.
Yeah, you gotta like.
Ren!
Warm up to this, Ren.
Don't do it, Ren! Wait,
Let
Clint.
someone else warm up first.
Don't fall on me.
Yeah. I don't know if this is such a good idea.
Whoa!
Okay.
Here, I'll start from here.
Yeah, do from the base.
Are you landing your back?
Yeah, back.
No, I'm not landing on my back. I'm just gonna land on my feet. Yeah, see, it's super easy. Oh my god.
What does the back do? Isn't it gonna knock the wind out of you? Right?
I mean, if you don't roll into it properly, yeah, there are proper ways to fall on a crash pad. We are having fun breaking it in, but
Head first, stiffen up.
Ren!
Hit the solid.
That is, you feel the acceleration. Yeah. Oh my god. Just that extra like 4 or 5 feet there is a big difference.
It doesn't,
Cause I
Fall on your side.
Are you scared, bro?
heads up though. I can't hang on any longer, dude.
Clint, hang on, man. Hang on. Hang on.
Hang on. Oh!
Dude, he's doing a rubber.
Ready?
so if you want a more cushioned fall, are you able to? Are you supposed to hold it?
They have bigger ones.
12 inch? Like even if you no, but if you fold it and get the thickness,
I don't think that makes
that's not supposed to make it any
It's
better.
not.
Dude, that almost just took the camera out, dude. I know.
You see his shoe? His shoe went up there.
Nico. Dude, that corner. Oh.
I wouldn't fall off that railing onto my back. That would definitely hurt. Yeah. It's hard on the brain. Still hurts my brain.
Hopefully we can use this for some cool videos in the future, right?
Yeah, this is what we can fall onto now anytime we need to jump off something. It's a little stiff.
Apparently they take time to break on that.
Do they? So we just should leave it set up for a while, huh?
Well, yeah, you need to jump on it. Well, we could actually just keep this here and like, instead of taking the stairs, we just jump down.
You're filming. You're filming.
What are you doing?
I trust
What are you doing?
And so how do you like the crash mat so far?
I like it. Clint's about to like pile drive me or something.
What are you doing, dude?
I was just gonna jump over you.
Oh.
The joke is gone. Hey, check this out. Check this out. Check this out.
Low resolution.
Sure. Oh yeah.
I know, it needs to sound like that little robot from like the Aliens when it boards the ship.
Because I knew this would
Yeah,
be good for that.
that's basically what it is. Okay, so here in our loading dock, I can give you guys the best example of why this technology is really special to us. When we filmed our Boston Dynamics video, in order to get that robot looking like it's naturally in the scene, we would take our Insta360 cameras and we would scan a 360 HDR of this environment. And that image basically allows us to separate the bright points from the dark points and basically light our scene. So if you look around here, you can see there's like some lights there, we got some lights up here, you know, and it basically, yeah, it's able to tell us where our light sources are coming from. However, there was one small issue that led us to have to basically redo that lighting. And here's kind of how that works. So, when you scan a 360 HDR of an environment, you're basically getting a giant sphere. That's what your image ends up looking like. You get a sphere that surrounds your environment. The problem though is that sphere, it's not in 3 dimensions here, it's in 2. Imagine I'm inside a sphere here of light, but the problem is that when you scan it in 2 dimensions, that light sphere has to kind of move with you because it's at an infinite distance. It doesn't actually move with your scene or anything like that. So when you have an issue like this, where you have a scene that has a single top light, when you scan your HDR, whenever the character is standing directly beneath the light, it's going to look completely natural. But suddenly, if the character steps in 3D space away from it, that 360 HDR, it's not going to move away. It's going to stick with your scene. So when we were filming and working on that video, so when it came time to render that video and light it and do all that stuff, we had to basically go through and in 3 dimensions put light sources back where they were. So that made it so we couldn't like actually rely on just our image map to recreate the scene. However, when you start using this, and you have the LiDAR that actually scans your environment in 3 dimensions, you can feasibly have a fully functioning 3D lighting environment that allows any characters to walk around in it and have the light sources react appropriately. It's a long-winded explanation, but I feel like that's as concise as I can possibly make it. So let's try scan here.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to like run and hide?
Well, yeah, so if you want to get your best, cleanest stuff, you have 2 options. Yeah, you can run and hide behind something, or you can do the little BLK 360 dance. As this rotates, you can kind of
Can we just like get up? Can we get against the wall and just like be?
No, because it's gonna go past us and scan us. I mean, we'll be permanently set in stone in that scene forever.
I'll go over there in the jump pile.
And if you want to just do one scan with us around it,
You can Easter egg it.
we can always just, yeah.
Or if you want, you can do the dance and step behind it as it spins. And
Fix it in post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it today.
It would be great to do like the HDR scan because I'm okay with the extra data because we can definitely use it.
Sure.
So how long does that take scanning wise then?
So scanning, if we did medium resolution point cloud, which is typically you're probably putting around about 15 million points, and then the HDR turned on, it'll take about 4 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll go.
By the way, the musician upstairs is playing some extra like technology driven music right now, so it's perfect.
Driven music inspired by technology.
Inspired by technology.
All right.
I guess I'll see you guys on the other side.
See you guys in 420.
It's like a meeting of the robotic senate right now. Deliberation. Oh boy, the guys are gonna come in. Don't open the door!
Don't open the door!
Don't open the door!
Don't open the door!
Don't open the door! Don't open it!
Don't open
the door!
Open the door, please. We're scanning. Oh wait, is this Led Zeppelin?
translating famous Led Zeppelin songs into AI in the robotic language. Oh shit.
Oh, dude, that was unexpected.
Dude, this guy's...
It turned the other way.
Uh-oh.
I did not see that coming. We're gonna chart our course from the loading dock back into the studio.
Sam, could you use this to finally make your perfect video game?
Well, we're talking about that with like, what if we actually just turn this data into a VR game? Because that'd be pretty sweet.
Pretty good.
The scans work?
This will be obviously a much denser point cloud once we're done, but it's just
Sure.
like
I mean, it
about
already looks super great.
yeah,
Crazy.
about a 1% preview of what the total point cloud will look like. It's kind of auto adjusting. So this is the actual photo 360 view. So looking directly from the point of the scanner, you just see simply turn the HDR on, it will auto adjust. It does have the thermal imaging actually as well. Just in the one view, it's like a 70-degree point of view, so you can see it's not all the way 360, but it is still the only LiDAR scanner on the market with any sort of thermal capabilities.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll catch you guys later. I gotta go.
Oh, dude, are you all right, man? Oh, Clint, here's your glasses, dude.
I really gotta get going though, dude. No, for real, I gotta get going, guys.
Here, man.
Let's go. Nico, I'll catch you later, dude. I'll see you later. Peace out.
Oh, did you actually hurt yourself because you didn't take your backpack off?
No, for real, I gotta go though. I gotta go. I'll catch you guys. Catch you guys later.
Dude, get out of here, man. You're
All right,
fucking
I'll see you
crazy.
guys later.
Wait, Clinton, grab your phone. We gotta do. Whoa! Why is that so squishy?
I don't know if that was a squishy sound more than a fart from Clint.
Oh, it smells bad, dude. Oh my god.
I would double check your pants, man. That one didn't smell air.
That might have not just
All right, for real this time, for real. I'm leaving.
Bye, Clint.
All right, see you, dude.
I keep cutting in the New England.
You want to come out and chill for 5 minutes while we...
Oh, it's like that.
I'll give you a cup of beer. How about that?
You can be a statue.
Homemade beer.
A goblin of beer.
A goblin.
Here I am trying to do the schedule for next week, and
But no.
Sam's offering me beer.
That's a tough sell.
All right. So the scan's done. How many scans was that? Like, we went through the loading dock, through the hallway, studio, and a couple of the cool rooms here.
Yeah, so we did about 13, 14 scans.
Oh my gosh. All right, so
yeah.
how are we gonna put... Okay, so how are we gonna put all this data together?
Sure. So, yeah, in the process, we kind of usually say registration, alignment, stitching together. When I say any of those, I mean all the same thing. It's, all these scans really don't know where they are in 3D space, so it all comes to overlapping data. So every time we set it up, we make sure there's overlapping data between those, and then essentially like putting a puzzle together. We just have to pretty much help it out a little bit. So here's an example of a top-down view of the scans we've taken. These chunks, this chunk over here is one bundle that's all been together, and I've got two other scans that have not been registered yet. So all I have to do, I know this was over in front of the Airsoft stuff, so if I just hit this link, press this scan right here, we've now got this top-down just between these two, and we'll hit optimize and just see it snaps them together. We hit create link. So we'll do that one more time with this scan over here. Just get it close to where it should be. Say, hey, register with that one. Hit optimize, and it snaps it together.
Oh my god.
Create link.
That's so stupidly easy looking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because like each one of these files though is like super dense. There's like millions of points. Like they have to be huge file sizes. How the heck does this like work so quickly to align that stuff?
So what we're seeing here, this isn't fully processed data yet. It's just a low res kind of preview image. So
okay.
the raw data, it's sitting on the BLK, then it transfers it over and just kind of initially does a process to it, because to fully process it, it can't quite handle it all on the iPad Pro. So once I dump this off onto the laptop, it'll finish processing, and then that's when it'll like fully essentially unzip all the real data. So yeah, this is just previewed stuff.
That's super cool.
Yeah, but then
because honestly, like of all the scans we've done though, like piecing multiple scans together is by far the most difficult thing I've ever tried to do, because like even if you're like we have a flat area and sometimes like it seems like you can connect them, the seams between the two like segments, chunks, whatever you want to call them, aren't even. So you have to kind of go through manually and like almost like polygon by polygon, like just connect every little tiny point. And there's millions of them, so it can be really, really lengthy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit different, with those when it is already a mesh. This is, because this is in a point cloud format right now too, it kind of meshes, well, shouldn't use meshing, but
yeah,
it comes together a little bit more seamless.
That's cool.
So yeah, so again, now it's just the point cloud, and then depending on, what you want to use it afterwards, I mean, you can do things like mesh this data and texture it, or like I said, using it for reference and the HDR stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exciting to explore all those options.
So what's the next step with this? Do we know, or like the processing?
Yeah, I mean, for us, like for us next steps, like for what we're trying to get to is like we're trying to get to having a full version of this model that we can use for upcoming videos, and potentially even to use as a virtual tour for anyone who wants to see what our studio is like.
What?
This is a lot of data. Look at this. Like, this is crazy.
So again, this is just kind of like, low res preview of the data. This will be a lot more solid, but also kind of like a almost a little X-ray view
so
kind
fun
of thing.
To just like
float around and see.
Yeah. Once again, I keep bringing up this Boston Dynamics video because the whole process we went through for this video is like the complicated version of what we just did, of like having to rebuild the environment and measure everything and project textures out. And for us though, like it's funny because when we're doing it, we're saying, screw it. These are all right angles. We're not measuring angles of anything. We're just assuming that everything is nice and straight. And so throughout the whole process, we're noticing inconsistencies all over the place, and we're just like, maybe we just suck and can't figure this out. But like, no, it's like things are just slightly off in real life.
Yeah. Pick a point, tap the screen, and then find a point. Just
so you can just measure it. Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, and you can change it obviously in units and stuff, but anything you can see on here, you can just pull a measurement on. You can zoom in on it. Yeah, exactly, and that's awesome. Like I said, that's what it's kind of made for, but so many other applications you can.
I just like how it's accurate, like that idea of accuracy and like bringing a lot of the guesswork out of it is so cool.
Absolutely. And then if you really wanted to,
sorry, this is just like the highest tech looking interface. Right? When you go to the map in the point cloud view, that overhead view,
it's like that sci-fi.
That's like it's like every video game you've ever played. It's like this is what you're looking at,
And then like the 3D version is like some like Ocean's 11 shit. Like we're like, all right, we got the maps of the place.
When they're flying through, we got to go through the elevator shaft and then break into the vault.
That's sweet.
Amazing.
But
awesome. Well, I guess so. We have to process this data first before we mess with it because it's just a preview, and then after that we get to figure out how we want to play with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Next steps to come.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, cool, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Man. Thank you so much for coming by, making the time to come out here.
Yeah.
I know you have a packed schedule showing. Everyone wants to see this. So I'm really glad we got to do this, and hopefully. We can get this out to you guys so that way you can take a look and see what our studio's like without having to fly out here.
Yeah.
The most convenient
or work
thing.
here.
Or work here. Yeah.
Purple send you guys this stuff. Dude, you guys gotta keep. All right, for real.
He forgot his bag.
Gotta move the crash pad.
All right, let's move now.
Because like when I come rushing back in to get my bag, like if it's right in the middle of the door, like I'm gonna fall over.
Yeah, we'll move it.
Okay.
That's how I shake hands now.
And haven't we fully cleaned enough, guys?
Dude, I get it. Boss Town 3. Boss Town 3.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Filming Boss on 3 right now, Clint.
Hey, where are you going? Hey, are you Clint?